Picture this: Vatican City in the early morning, bathed in soft light. The ancient walls and tall spires stand quiet, almost like they're holding their breath, sensing something huge is about to happen. Whispers float through the air, thick with excitement and wonder. Prayers and hopes from millions seem to hum all around. 7 days, that's all that's left. Just 1 week to decide the future of the Catholic Church. It's a week that'll go down in history. From massive cathedrals to tiny chapels, people everywhere are waiting, hearts pounding together. Something big is brewing, an emergency conclave, a super rare gathering of the Church's top leaders. It's not something you see every day, and it's a really big deal. So first, subscribe to the channel. This conclave is all about tradition and mystery. It's where the past meets the future, and the decisions made here will send waves around the world, touching billions of lives. You can feel how serious it is. Inside the Vatican's quiet corners, everyone knows how much responsibility is riding on this moment. Bishops and cardinals are pouring into Rome from all over, faraway places, different cultures, you name it. Each one's got their own story and dreams for what's next. They've traveled long roads, both outside and in their hearts, to get to this point. You can see the worry and deep thoughts on their faces. They're carrying the hopes and worries of everyone back home. The whole world's watching. News crews from every country are camped out, cameras ready, microphones on, waiting to catch every second of what's coming. What's going to happen inside those sacred Vatican walls? The Sistine Chapel, with its stunning painted ceiling, is about to become the spotlight of history once again. Something unforgettable is on the way. Stay tuned. The choices made in the next few days will shape the lives of billions. People all over the world are holding their breath, praying and hoping for a fresh start for the Catholic Church. Pope Francis, the beloved people's pope, isn't doing so well. His endless energy is fading after years of hard work. A shadow has crept over his time as pope. His breathing's getting weaker, a quiet sign that time is catching up. The faithful are lighting candles in churches everywhere, their hope glowing even in the uncertainty. When he was rushed to the hospital with pneumonia, it shook the Church to its core. That tough illness hit his aging lungs hard, and the world watched, stunned and worried. The Vatican shared careful updates, each one showing how serious things were getting. Everyone prayed for a miracle. But even in a place as holy as this, miracles aren't a sure thing. Behind the scenes, the Church's ancient wheels started turning, like a giant clock that's been ticking for centuries. Hidden deep in the Vatican are archives stuffed with secrets and traditions from the very start of Christianity. The College of Cardinals, the Church's VIPs in their bright red robes, rushed in from every corner of the planet. These aren't just leaders. They're the keepers of a 2,000-year-old story, trusted to guide over 1.3 billion people with a duty that feels bigger than time itself. Their prayers fill the Vatican's sacred halls, a serious reminder of the huge job ahead, picking a new pope. Out in St. Peter's Square, crowds of faithful folks gather, their hopes and prayers mixing with the old rituals happening inside. The cardinals head into the Sistine Chapel, a stunning place where Michelangelo's famous paintings look down like a heavenly audience. With its jaw-dropping beauty, the chapel sets the stage for their massive mission. The doors shut tight. Everything goes quiet. The conclave starts. It's all super secret. No one outside can peek in. Inside those sacred walls, the cardinals are alone with their thoughts, prayers, and a hope for some divine advice. Nothing from the outside world can sneak through. The conclave is like a fortress of faith, where the only voice that counts is the Holy Spirit's. The world waits, wondering what's next. Inside the Sistine Chapel, the cardinals are counting on the Holy Spirit to show them the way. A ray of light cuts through the shadows, a little sign of heavenly help and inspiration. Dressed in their striking red robes, these cardinals are ready to give everything for their faith, just like the martyrs who came before them. The red is a bold reminder of all those sacrifices. They're carrying on the legacy of St. Peter, the very first pope, whose statue watches over the Vatican like a guardian. This tradition is like a lighthouse, guiding the Church through time. Their job? Pick the next pope, a leader to steer the Church into a future full of unknowns. They're looking for someone with faith, hope, and kindness, a shepherd who can lead over 1 billion people through today's tough challenges. There are 138 cardinals in all, each one a key figure in the Church, each one caring for their own community. Gathered in the Sistine Chapel, you can see how serious this is on their faces. The whole world's counting on them to choose the new pope. Among them are some standout possibilities. Cardinal Talio from the Philippines, a humble and caring guy. Cardinal Parolin, the Vatican's smooth-talking diplomat. Cardinal Sandri, a calm and steady leader. And others too, each with their own strengths and flaws. Any one of them could step up to guide a church at a turning point. The world's glued to the news, waiting with bated breath. Every update from the Vatican sparks guesses. Who's it gonna be? Someone to shake things up or stick to the old ways? A peacemaker or a protector of tradition? The stakes are sky high. The Catholic Church is facing big stuff, people turning away, fights within, and whispers of scandal. The next pope's got a huge job ahead, healing and refreshing the Church. Everyone's wondering, will the chosen one be ready? Out in St. Peter's Square, it's quieter than usual. Normally it's packed with tourists and pilgrims, but now it's a sea of people waiting, hopeful yet nervous. They're praying the rosary together, their soft voices blending into a hum that drifts upward. The anticipation is electric. Something big is coming, and they can feel it. In St. Peter's Square, prayers in every language mix together like a beautiful song rising to the sky. News crews from all over the world are camped out, cameras locked on the Sistine Chapel's chimney. Everyone's waiting for that big clue. Black smoke means the cardinals are still deciding. White smoke means we've got a new pope. The suspense is thick. You can feel it in the air. Then, there it is. A puff of smoke swirls up, and the crowd gasps together. People push forward, a huge wave of excitement uniting everyone in this one amazing moment. Habemus papam. The ancient words boom out. We have a pope. The new pope steps onto the balcony, and the square goes silent. He raises his hand to bless the crowd, and emotions explode. Relief, happiness, hope. For a second, it feels like the world's worries just melt away. A new chapter kicks off for the Catholic Church, full of change and fresh starts. People look to this new pope with a mix of excitement and nerves. What's he going to do? What hurdles will he face? No one knows yet. But one thing's for sure. The Church, shining strong for over 2,000 years, isn't going anywhere. It's been through tough times before, and always come out tougher, ready to keep inspiring millions around the globe. Pope Francis's time as Pope has ended. He was all about fairness, staying humble, and bringing the Church closer to everyday people. His legacy? It's a big, colorful story of wins and struggles that folks will talk about for years. From his bold writings to helping refugees worldwide, he made a mark that won't fade. He reached out to people on the edges, pushed for a greener planet, and shook things up in the best way. He made the church a light for those who felt lost or forgotten, always talking about kindness, mercy, and doing what's right. Now, the conclave has picked a new leader, and with him comes a new vibe and new challenges. The page is turning. What's next for the church? Let's find out together. The newly elected Pope steps into his role at a time of immense challenges and opportunities for the Catholic Church. As the leader of over 1 billion Catholics worldwide, he must navigate a rapidly evolving world while staying true to the Church's long-standing traditions. His task is not only to uphold the sacred teachings that have guided believers for centuries, but also to respond to the pressing issues of the modern era with wisdom and compassion. One of the greatest challenges he faces is maintaining the delicate balance between tradition and progress. The Church has deep-rooted customs and values that have provided spiritual guidance for generations. At the same time, society is changing at an unprecedented pace. Issues such as climate change, economic inequality, political instability, and the rise of digital culture demand thoughtful leadership. The Pope must find ways to address these concerns while ensuring that the Church remains a strong moral compass for its followers. Climate change, in particular, has become a major global concern, affecting millions of people, especially the most vulnerable. The new Pope is expected to continue advocating for environmental responsibility, building on the legacy of his predecessors who have called for urgent action to protect God's creation. Through his leadership, he can encourage individuals, communities, and nations to take responsibility for safeguarding the planet for future generations. Economic inequality is another challenge that requires his attention. Around the world, vast gaps between the rich and the poor continue to grow, leading to suffering and social unrest. The Church has always championed the cause of the poor, and under the new Pope's leadership, it has the opportunity to strengthen its commitment to social justice. By promoting charity, fair economic policies, and ethical business practices, he can guide both governments and individuals toward a more just and compassionate world. In the digital age, the Church also faces new challenges and opportunities. The internet and social media shape how people communicate, access information, and form beliefs. While these platforms can spread negativity and misinformation, they also offer a powerful way to reach millions with messages of faith, hope, and unity. The new Pope has a chance to harness technology to engage with younger generations, making Catholic teachings more accessible and relevant in today's world. Despite these challenges, the Catholic Church remains a resilient institution, rich in faith, tradition, and hope. The world watches eagerly to see how the new Pope will guide his flock through these stormy times. His leadership will shape not only the future of the Church, but also the world at large. The Catholic Church's future is a blank page, ready to be filled by what its leaders do and how its followers believe. But one thing's for sure: faith, even as tiny as a mustard seed, keeps growing stronger. The good things Pope Francis started, like kindness and hope, will keep blooming, building a church that shows the world what lasting faith looks like. Love this stuff? Hit subscribe at History Documentary Hub for more cool videos and fascinating stories. There's tons more to explore.